Gamers, with this latest set release, we had a lot of new decks come into the game, such as the Resonator strategy becoming significantly better, Earthbound Immortals suddenly becoming playable and even good. We have Tistina, which I think I have a deck list, but I don't even know if I got a replay for this deck. I mean, this deck is just atrocious. I know some people have been coping with it in tier, but like, why? And we also have a lot of decks, like Transaction Rollback kind of opened the floodgates for a lot of trap decks other than Labyrinth to be a lot better that I haven't really had a chance to cover on the channel. So that's basically the point of this video. We're going to be, showcasing some different deck lists as well as replays from people in my Discord. So let's go take a look at those strategies, and don't forget to sub. We're almost at 20,000 subscribers, so help me out. All right, let's go. And first off here from Kenny Pickering, we have Resonators. I do want to point out, if you guys aren't sure what each card in the deck list is, just make sure to keep an eye on the left side of the screen. I'm going to have every single card from every single deck just showcased one by one. But yeah, this deck, I mean, it's just a really good combo deck. I don't think it would make it much higher than like playable tier in my latest tier list, just because the format right now is such a crazy power level. But that doesn't really mean it's bad. I mean, being playable right now means you have to kind of be insane. I've seen this deck in action. It's very consistent. It has a lot of gas. And obviously, the interruption sets up is really, really strong. That being said, it's not perfect. It's very interruptible, which I think is probably its biggest flaw. And as for this build in particular from Kenny here, I'm pretty sure most people are running 3 Crimson Gaia. Now, honestly, I could see you just kind of like running 3 and just running 42 cards. I don't think that would be that big of a loss. I'll leave it in the way that Kenny sent it, which was with 1 Crimson Gaia. But like, this is just a really good consistency boost. Maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe I'm just not like, Resonator brained enough to understand the logic behind this. But yeah, I would probably run 3. Anyway, let's get into that replay. All right, let's get into this replay. And as for the tapestry, if you guys are wondering, it'll be back soon. It's just the stickers I got were just not good enough. This thing fell off during my tier list video. I don't want to bother with it. I ordered better stickers. Anyway, let's see what we have going on here. So Soul Resonator, search the Wandering King Wildwind. Then we're going to trigger Bone Archfiend, discarding a card to special summon it. We can use this effect to change its level by dumping a Crimson Resonator in order to get into our Red Rising Dragon. Then we can go for Red Rising Dragon effect, not once per turn. Bring back our Crimson Resonator, which will summon 2 Resonators from our deck, and we get Nibiru? We have to play through Nibiru? I mean, I think that's going to say a lot about this deck here. Alright, so we get Nibiru, and they also don't even have to summon a token because they had the Stovey Torby, which is really nasty. So we do get the effect of Vision in the grave as well as Synchron Resonator targeting the Crimson Resonator. So we get to add back to our hand our Crimson Resonator and then go for Vision effect to grab our Crimson Gaia. Now we're going to go for Crimson Resonator. Since we control no monsters, we can special summon it as well as another Fiend in the hand and just go into another Red Rising Dragon and just do it all over again. Bring back the Crimson Resonator. Using these 2, we can go into a Scarred Red Dragon, Scarred Dragon Archfiend. Activate Crimson Gaia, add to the hand our Vision Resonator from the grave, which we can then special summon since we control a level 5 or higher Dark Monster. From there, we can go right into Dispater. Then we get the Dispeter. And we get to summon out the Red Dragon Archfiend with the graveyard effect of Scarred. Then we get to banish our Red Rising to add back our Uvuo Loop to our hand. We get to target our banished Red Rising to bring it back with our Dispater. And we can banish the other... what's his name again? The other Red Rising in order to summon out our Uvuo Loop, make a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, and pull out the Scarred Red Dragon Archfiend. So what we have going on here, we have the Bestial Dispater, sorry, I'm going to try to get used to that just so a nickname stops bothering me about it. We have just 1 banish card in our own banish pile, so that's a quick effect pop. We have Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane, this card. When this card inflicts battle, then doesn't do much of anything. Okay, well, let's see what happens, okay? Let's see what happens. So our opponent's going to go for Nadir Servant here and send the Entis to the grave. Entis is going to target our only real disruption, Dispater, but we can actually protect it with our Soul Resonator. Then they're going to go for Ecclesia the Virtuous, and we can chain our Dispater and shuffle back a banish card. Then they're going to go for Big Welcome. We're going to Ash the Big Welcome like any good player would do. Then they're going to go for their Chandelier, sending the Ecclesia to the grave in order to get to set another Big Welcome from the deck. All right, makes sense. Let's fast forward a little bit here as the chain resolves. Shuffle back a banish, get a... well, okay. Hey, that works. That works. I guess Dispater is all you need. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. All right, now since we don't have that many decks to showcase today, I did want to showcase some alternative builds. And here we have from Mazinger, Infernity Resonator. And it looks really cool to me. The synergy is actually pretty high with this one. Bone Archfiend can send any Fiend tuner to the grave. So you can actually send the Infernity Sage, who can then dump as well the Infernity Archfiend. And it does that by discarding a card too, so you're getting closer to your handless combo. You already set up 2 Archfiends in the grave, so once you have your hand empty, you know, you can go for Infernity Archfiend and then search the Infernity Launcher, activate Infernity Launcher, and then, you know, later in your combo, you can bring back both of these by sending it to the grave. Or if you don't want it, you know, you could also go for Infernity Barrier. So there definitely seems to be a lot of synergy going on with this list here. Also, they have the Archfiend Palabyrinth, which is more so just like a kind of draw it if you can card, and it has some pretty cool synergy because if you control an Archfiend monster, which Bone Archfiend is one, then, you know, you can use Palabyrinth to summon right out of the deck the Infernity Archfiend. Pretty interesting. Like, this is really just a card like top deck it if you're lucky, you know, type of deal. Definitely looks really interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing the replay. Mazinger always has some banger replays, so let's get into it. All right, so let's see this in action here. So what is our hand looking like? We've got Vision, Salamander, Bone Archfiend, Stone Sweeper, and Red Zone. So we're going to start off with the Stone Sweeper. Stone Sweeper, by the way, a searcher for pretty much any low-level fiend, so that's kind of cool. And we're going to go get ourselves a Soul Resonator, activate Bone Archfiend, dumping the Vision Resonator. We get to go Vision Resonator, search the Crimson Gaia. Then we can go for Bone Archfiend, dump the Infernity Sage to lower its level, and make ourselves a Red Rising Dragon. We can go for Red Rising Dragon effect and get back our Soul Resonator. And another thing that's really cool about this deck here is that you can kind of commit to your Red Dragon Archfiend lines, like, you know, your Resonator lines, basically, before you ever have to really get into your Infernity plays. So that's a really cool aspect of it. So we summon out the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. Then we can go for Crimson Gaia, set 1 card, activate Salamander Catalyzer to summon out the Infernity Archfiend from our hand. Infernity Archfiend is going to search the Infernity Launcher. We activate Infernity Launcher here. Then we go for Crimson Gaia, get back our Vision Resonator. Special out the Vision Resonator, we can go ahead and make ourselves another Red Rising Dragon. Not once per turn, insane card. Bring back the Vision yet again. Go Infernity Launcher and target both of our Infinities in the grave. That's 1 and that's 2. Then we get to trigger Infernity Archfiend. Search another Launcher. Gonna activate Launcher, not once per turn, by the way. We're gonna make ourselves a Void Ogre Dragon. And then we're going to use these 2 here to go into a Red Rising Dragon yet again. Bring back our Vision Resonator yet again. Using these 2, we can go into our Scarred Dragon Archfiend, activate Infernity Launcher yet again. Bring back our Infernity Archfiend as well as Infernity Sage. And then we get to trigger his effect to search the Infernity Barrier. Use these 2 here to make ourselves a Bestial Dispotter, sorry, not Dissipator. I'm trying to remember. And we get to bring out a Red Dragon Archfiend. Now, he did tell me that he would like to have 2 Void Ogre Dragon, but he only has 1. But this still seems like a really solid board to me overall. Obviously, we have kind of just 2 vanillas here, but Red Zone is kind of good here. You know, we have the Red Zone for the Red Dragon Archfiend. Like, that's pretty good. I think you can activate Red Zone even if you have just this dude on the field, but, you know, still pretty good. Still pretty good. We can pretend this card is good on the field. And, yeah, it doesn't destroy anything because of the effect of Soul Resonator in the grave. Now we're going to go, our opponent is going to go Guiding Quem. We're going to go for Red Zone. Red Zone, I think, destroys a card, so we're going straight into it. We're going to destroy their Quem as soon as she hits the field. She dumps a Fallen of Valbaz. We're going to go for Crimson Gaia since the card was destroyed. They're going to go Called By on the Scarred. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. Not the biggest deal here, but, you know, it's fine. So we're going to keep going here. Okay. To be fair, what were they supposed to do? It was branded. What were they supposed to do? Even if they had branded Fusion in hand, obviously they couldn't play. What we had here was a Quick Effect Pop. We had a Spell and Trap Negate. We had an Omni Negate basically for any card on the field with the Dragon Archfiend at the left here. And we also had our, I think it's an Omni Negate Counter Trap. Like that's kind of crazy. So, I mean, like, what were they supposed to do, right? The board is absolutely insane. Low-key, I think this might even be better than regular Resonators. This seems pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. All right, and next up here, the deck that I've just been, like, talking smack about ever since people even suggested it in Master Duel. Earthbound Runick from Kenny Pickering. Listen, man, I get it. You know, Earthbound Runick worked pretty well in TCG, or works pretty well in TCG. The problem is, our runic package is so bad. Kenny tried to make it work, and you know, even he admits this deck just it's all right. And honestly, I don't even think it's all right. I think, like, from my testing, it's atrocious. I think it's so bad. One fountain just doesn't work. It just doesn't work for combo decks like this that are trying to combo off while also making use of the runic engine. It just doesn't work. The only place that runic can really find a home now is in, like, stun decks, and even stun decks seem like they don't really want to play runic. They just really murdered this engine, unfortunately. It's really a shame because this would be such a cool deck to be able to play in Master Duel, but it just doesn't work very well. Doesn't mean you'll always lose, you know. It's not like unplayably bad, but it's just not great. Anyway, we do have a replay, so let's get into that. All right, so let's see what we've got going on here. I'm not expecting anything too crazy. This list is inspired by a Joshua Schmidt's list, by the way. I do want to mention that, you know, with the Rose Dragon engine. Well, the Rose Field Spell, Garden Field Spell, my bad. Anyway, we start with Stone Sweeper fetching a Prisoner. We go Prisoner, and then they're going to go Max C. And I guess we're going to chain a Flash Spell to Max C here. Yeah, so we're going to go Runic Golden Droplet to special summon a Hugin as soon as possible. Special the Hugin, and then we'll get to summon out with the Prisoner. So Prisoner, summon a copy of the Stone Sweeper. Then Hugin, discard the Line Walker to fetch a Runic Fountain. And using all three of these, we're going to go straight into a Draco Berserker of the Tenyi and just activate Fountain and pass turn here. All right. I mean, that's all right. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Into Max C, I mean, you got to do what you got to do into Max C, right? So frame one here, we're going to try and banish the Ash, and they're just going to droplet the Draco Berserker. Wow, with this hand here and the situation we're in, I'm really surprised that we can even win this. So, I mean, I want to see it in action for sure. Maybe the dude misplays or something. So Poplar time, and then trigger Poplar in hand. How the hell do you not win this? Like, how do you lose this? I don't even know. Maybe not having two fires in hand. Like, it's no, that's not even possible. Okay, let's see. So going flashing fire on Poplar right now. Okay, surely we draw into insane runic cards. Okay, we drew into freezing curses, negate Snake Ash, they can't send. Okay, that's good. And okay, we didn't banish the Flamberge, but okay, I see it. So this is definitely playable. It's playable, you know. We have Smiting Storm here. Gonna go Smiting Storm right now. And then we get to do a draw 2. That's pretty good, And Flashing Fire, okay. Normal summon the Groundkeeper. They're gonna go for the Divine Temple, bringing out the Flamberge. I mean, yeah, I can see, like, they don't really have any interruption here. We kind of do get to do whatever we want for a little bit. Summon out the Line Walker. Line Walker, add the Earthbound Prison. We're going to activate the Earthbound Prison here, targeting the Flamberge. They're obviously going to chain it to summon the Poplar as soon as possible here. And they're going to get a search off of the Poplar. So, I mean, that's fine. We're going to go for Called By on Poplar in the Grave. That's pretty funny. So, Called By the Poplar in the Grave, it gets negated. They will not be getting a search from it. And then we can summon out our Stone Sweeper, special summon it since there's a field spell on the field. Go into our Stardust Charge Warrior. Charge Warrior gets a draw. Of course, we draw talents. Get another 2 draws. You'll love to see it. And oh my god, yeah, it doesn't get much better than this. Golden Droplet, summon Jerry. Jerry, add back the Fountain. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, you popped off. I'm not gonna lie, dude. You kind of popped off, Kenny. Now we get our Pixie here. Pixie can pop a card, and then we're going to activate our Fountain, trigger the Pixie. Since we activated a field spell, we get a draw, then we can go for Runic Tip, and they're just going to scoop it up. This is hilarious. I'm not going to lie. That's a really funny replay. I mean, big W, right? Like, that looked really impressive. I wish every game went that way, but that's just not the case, at least from my testing. Still, super awesome, and I guess it's worth a shot. If you guys want to try the deck and you already have the cards, like, why not? Just don't recommend like crafting any runic cards to play this build. All right, and here we have a build from Ma Zinger. Just like for Resonators, I wanted to show another build for this deck. Keep in mind, I also covered Tier Limit Earthbound on my channel. I made a deck profile for that deck. I still think that's the best way to play Earthbound, and I think it's genuinely a really good deck. but this is supposed to be more of a pure variant on the deck, or as pure as you really can be. It's actually a mix of Bestial, Earthbound, and even a little bit of Dark World in there somehow. Really interesting looking build. I'm not really sure what the replay is going to look like for this. It definitely looks like it's just meant to take advantage of everything this deck really has to offer, and I thought it was an interesting way to play the deck. Oh, you're even running the Crimson Gaia here with one copy of Vision Resonators, so definitely balls to the wall type of build here. I'm looking forward to seeing it in action. Let's go check it out. All right, so taking a look at the replay here, it was a 7-turn replay. So, oh, and it's in Duelist Cup too. Very nice. So let's see this deck in action here. Starting off, oh, we have Genta, Nib, called by an Imperm, and we're going second. Okay, so yeah, just shotgunning the Imperm on the Snake Eye Ash. Sometimes that's the right call, you know, sometimes they don't have what they need, and just stopping Ash will just stop their turn. That was kind of the case here. I mean, they're going for Fusion Destiny. Like, I mean, it could be worse. If you're facing Snake Eyes, it really could be worse. So we'll take it, right? So we have DPE pass here. We have a really good hand too. We're going to start with Earthbound Prison to force out the DPE. That's awesome. Earthbound Prison just being able to be used as basically like a, you know, a wannabe Imperm sometimes is really nice. So we're going to go for Stone Sweeper here to search a Vision Resonator. Then we're going to trigger Genta, discard it to get to search our Gates of Dark World. Activate Gates of Dark World. Oh, this is sick. Yeah, banish the Genta, discard Vision, get a draw, and then we get to trigger both the Genta and the Vision. That's really awesome. So Genta is going to summon itself, and Vision is going to search a Crimson Gaia here. Summon out the Genta. Then we can normal summon the Line Walker. Line Walker gets Impermed. That's kind of rough. Not the end of the world, but definitely rough. Are we running the Ancient Fairy Dragon? I'm not sure. Either way, we're going to go for Crimson Gaia here. Crimson Gaia, add back the Vision Resonator. There is a level 5 or higher Dark on the field on the other side, so we get to special out the Vision. Summon Muddy Mud Dragon, and then we go into... Oh, go into a Shen Shen. Okay, so we're just trying to out the DPE here. We're gonna called by the Dasher to boost our attack up to above DPE's attack is hilarious. Then they get the DPE effect, and they'll be able to summon out the Decider next turn for whatever that does, you know. So summon out the Decider. Decider makes it so you take no damage or some crap. I don't even know. Anyway, they're going to go for Raigeki, pop the Shen Shen here, and go to battle phase. Okay, I can see why this was a 7-turn game. This was kind of a bricked on both sides type of duel, you know what I mean? Okay, so we draw into another Stone Sweeper here. Crimson Gaia to add back the Vision, but they do have the Ash Blossom. Oh boy. Alright, well honestly, that's kind of good. We baited out Ash, and now we have our Stone Sweeper that is going to kind of pop off here. Oh, we're just going to pass? What? Don't we have targets for Stone Sweeper? We don't... Okay, they're going to... Go for Divine Temple, put Flamberge in the back row. Oh my god, you're so lucky to still be alive into Snake Eyes here. Like, his build must be atrocious to not be top decking that well. But anyway, Crimson Gaia again, get the Vision Resonator out. And then we can go again for Gates of Dark World, banish Genta, discard Vision, get to draw cards, summon out the Genta. They get to trigger their Divine Temple to summon out the Flamberge. Doesn't really do anything here. Flamberge is basically just Blue Eyes White Dragon at this point. We can go for Stone Sweeper. Stone Sweeper search the Ground Sweeper. Then we're going to normal summon out the Ground Sweeper. Bring out the Line Walker. Line Walker is going to search a Harmonic Synchro Fusion. We're going to activate Harmonic Synchro Fusion using these two here to make a Ancient Fairy Dragon as well as a Gremlina. Gremlina search another Groundkeeper, and we can go for Ancient Fairy Dragon, pop all the field spells on the field, and we get to search a field spell. Oh, we didn't have one to search. Oh well. We still get to special summon out our Stone Sweeper from the hand, Groundkeeper, and make ourselves an Axel. Axel, bring back the the Vision Resonator, my bad, and make ourselves a Baron de Fleur. So here we go. Using the Gremlina as well as Groundkeeper, we make ourselves a Dawn Dragster. Pretty good. And we get the Shen Shen effect in the grave here, banishing 2 cards from the graveyard in order to bring back Shen Shen. That's actually really, really good. So we have Dawn Dragster, Baron Shen Shen, pop the Flamberge, and set Imperm. We don't attack. Was that in main phase 2? I didn't notice. Either way, easy money, right? Easy money. Kind of a weird duel, kind of a gimped game, but you know, I'll take it. Good replay. Thank you, Mons. Moving on. This is Bidoof's Tistina list. And next up here from Yoshimitsu in my Discord, we have an Eldlich list that actually made it all the way to DLV Max. So yeah, Rollback, it's good for Labyrinth, but it's good for other trap decks as well. Now, I know a lot of people are looking at all the floodgates in this list and they're getting mad, but look, man, It's a very real way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! That exists. Am I a fan of it? No. But am I just gonna not cover it on the channel? No. Okay? I mean, I don't even think Eldlich is rogue, so making it to DLV Max with this is like W Yoshimitsu. That's pretty dope. This deck looks like Eldlich with rollback in it, and now Conquistador's at 3. W. Alright, so I picked a slightly longer replay for this deck. I feel like decks like this, you know, you really want to get into the grind game to showcase them. So this is an 8-turn match for that Eldlich deck. We've got Glow Up Bloom in the grave, Divine Carnate, Max C, Zombie World, and the Huaquero. So we're going to start with Zombie World, normal summon the Bloom, and then we can go into Linkuriboh, which allows us to trigger the Bloom in the grave since we control Zombie World, and summon out the Ballardrock straight from the deck. Very nice. Then we're going to use these two to go into a Vampire Sucker, of course, and we can set the Huaquero. We pass turn. In our opponent's standby phase, we'll get to summon out the Doom King Ballard. Whoa! Whoa, buddy! Whoa! Chill! Called by on Ballardrock here is super rude and not very appreciated. But either way, we're going to keep going here, so our opponent is... That's a funny matchup. That is a funny matchup. Okay. So go in for Dark Magical Circle, activate Soul Servant. We're just going to fast forward a little bit here. Soul Servant, reveal, Dark Magician, draw, Dark Magician, dump. Go Illusion of Chaos, fetch the Magician's Rod. We're going to summon out the Magician's Rod, and then we're going to search our Secrets of Dark Magic. Going to go Max C in response to Secrets, and they're going to summon out the Dark Magicians. We're going to get a draw from that. Then they're going to go for the effect of Soul Servant to draw 2. And they're going to set a card, swing with the Dark Magicians, swing with Magician's Rod. We can summon out the Huaquero to not get attacked, I guess. And they're going to go for a Dark here. Dark, bring back our Vampire Sucker. They're giving us a couple of draws here. This is so bad, dude. Why are you doing this? Then they're going to go for Harpy's Feather Duster, getting our Huaquero in the grave. Make a Selene. So what the heck is this guy doing? Why? Why do all that? Why would you do all... What? Okay, Eternal Soul. We're going to chain Max C here. Anyway, we're going to go for Harpy's Feather Dusters. They're going to go for a Selene here. Bring back Dark Magician. We get a draw. We get to wipe everything. Eternal Soul is going to trigger. Wipe everything again. Dark Magician is going to summon 2... my god, bro. What a funky-ass duel. Going for Uni-Zombie, change the level of Dark Magician, and then we're going to dump our Necroworld Banshee. Necroworld Banshee, get our Zombie World. They're going to go for Druid Swarm on our Eldlich that we discarded. We're going to set 4 cards, activate the Elixir in the grave to set up our our Conquistador. So we got 2 Conquistador, we got Summon Limit, we got Huaquero, we got Dogmatic Punishment. We're looking pretty good here. And they're going to go for a Magician's Rod. This is hilarious. They're going to go for Soul Servant, shuffle back on top of the deck, and then they're going to go for Soul Servant Graveyard Effect, get a couple of draws here. They're going to activate Magician's Salvation to set the Eternal Soul, go to battle phase, try to swing. Going to go Dogmatic Punishment, dumping the Kid Kalos, actually. Very interesting. And they're going to beat over the Uni-Zombie, beat over the defense position Max C. We're going to go for Huaquero. And we don't control Eldlich, so obviously we don't get a pop here. We go for, Huaquero in the grave here, banish the Elixir, get ourselves a Conquistador as well as a Black Awakening. Sorry, I mixed up the names for the traps a little bit there. Either way, we're going to go for the Elixir. They're going to go for Eternal Soul. Bro, what is this duel? And we get to summon out the Eldlich here. This is very cool. This is very epic. We get to go Huaquero and banish the Magician's Rod from the grave. Go for Conquistador, pop the Eternal Soul. Obviously, we get to wipe everything, and they're going to activate another Eternal Soul. Then they're going to go for Druid Swarm to send the Conquistador to the graveyard. Following that, we're just going to pass turn. Our opponent is going to go Magician's Soul. So we're going to go Conquistador, pop the Eternal Soul, summon back the Dark Magician. Why didn't you wait to pop? Anyway, they kaiju our Eldlich, and then they're going to summon Humongous. This is definitely one of the replays I've ever seen for sure. Anyway, we get to go Eldlich here and bring it back to hand and summon it out with a lot of attack. Trigger the rollback in the grave. Banish it to activate Punishment. Punishment, dump Entis, pop the field spell. And there we go. We can now start putting in some major damage. Our opponent is probably going to scoop it up next turn, I'm guessing. We banish the Conquistador to get ourselves an Elixir. And anything else? No, okay. Yeah, wow. That's a replay and a half. Okay. The LV Max. The LV Max. Moving on. And finally here, we kept the most based and also the most cursed for last. This is from Pokemon Trainer, inspired by a list from Joshua Schmidt. It is Paleozoic rollback control thing with Needle Bug Nest and playing 60 cards I'm not exactly sure why. From what he's telling me, basically, this deck is kind of like a slow-paced, you know, snail's pace, just swing for a little bit of damage here and there, use cards, you know, that'll just like stall your opponent to just keep playing and applying a little bit of pressure. It seems really, really silly. And it doesn't seem very good to me, especially if you get a handful of Paleozoics. Like, that is probably terrible, but I mean, hey, it's playable now. Let's check out the replay. All right, so let's see this replay. I'm gonna guess your replay you're sending me is gonna have just Reasoning in hand or Grass is Greener in hand to just mill a bunch at the start and pop off like crazy. So let's see. And oh shit. Okay, never mind. I guess not. Never mind. Okay. Set for pass. Not setting the Aegis. Not too sure why. By the way, Aegis might seem weird, but it's meant to protect your Paleozoics to just stall. It's actually pretty good. So going for circular here, we're going to go for Morella. Morella is basically the best Paleozoic now because it dumps rollback. And our opponent is going to go for Sigma. We're going to chain our Ice Dragon's Prison. And we also get to chain Morella in the grave to summon it out. So that's kind of crazy, right? Ice Dragon's Prison, the Sigma, and then we get to banish both Sigma and Circular. Our opponent is going to summon out the Diameter to make a Lingeribo. Lingeribo swing into Morella. We're going to go for Fiend Griefing, and they're going to actually Ash the Fiend Griefing. Interesting. So Fiend Griefing is negated here. We're going to go for Transaction Rollback in the grave. Pay half our life points so that we can go for Ice Dragon's Prison again. We really got to like protect this Morella because this is our beat stick, you know? This is our Blue Eyes White Dragon over here. We're going to go for Trap Trick to set a Needlebug Nest. Go Needlebug Nest, and wow, you actually did mill a rollback. Wow, lucky. Okay, that's impressive. And of course, you top deck the Reasoning. I'm so surprised. Oh, Reasoning just for one? You have 50 traps and you only get one? Oh my god. Unfair. Anyway, Backjack. Called by Backjack is crazy. Okay, so Backjack gets called by. Okay, so I guess we're beating you up with just Lingeribo and Morella here. So Morella to attack position. Yep, just, you know, big beat sticks over here. Massive damage here. And we're going to set our Aegis. Yeah, this card is going to protect our water monsters if they ever want to summon anything to beat over it. We really got to protect our beat sticks here. And okay, I guess they didn't want to summon anything. So we get to bring back another Morella from the grave. This is so, like, this way we'll be able to get into our Xyz plays. We also go for Nadir's Servant here, dumping the Kit Kalos, searching a Maximus. And what does Kit Kalos smell? Is she lucky? Is she lucky? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, well, you did get a Backjack. That's pretty good. And we get a Maximus. Didn't Backjack... Oh, wait. Backjack got called by, so it doesn't really matter. We do get to dump 2 with Maximus here, so we can actually dump a Herald of the Arclight as well as a Garura. This is really good. That way, you know, we can search ourselves... not search, I mean, draw into a card, and we also get to search Illusion of Chaos. Illusion of Chaos can then search Magician Souls, put Illusion of Chaos back into the deck, and we're just going to swing for massive damage here. Just insane amounts of damage. Just crazy stuff. Leoncolia, I can't believe you're playing this Paleozoic. That's actually crazy. This literally... Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, okay, because it returns a banished card. Oh, never mind. I get it, because Leoncolia can shuffle back your rollback. Okay, that's pretty good. Oh, it returns it to the grave. It returns a rollback. Okay, never mind. I get it. Either way here, they're going to go for Circular. Normal summon Maxi to go into Almirage. That is insane. We go Lost Wind here to set the Lost Wind. And they're going to go into a Splash Mage. How the hell do we not lose this? Rollback effect in the grave, banishing it so that we can target... What did we target here? We targeted the Ice Dragon's Prison. Yeah, they went Cross Out there. I don't think Cross Out does anything. Okay. That's not as bad as I expected, but also, like, there's no way that you didn't get lucky, right? Like, there's no way that this... I kind of want to try it. I kind of want to try it. I love Paleozoics. It's like my favorite trap archetype ever, for sure. I kind of want to try this. There's no way. I might try it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this month's deck showcase. Not as many high impact meta decks to showcase this time around as there was last month, but next month is lining up to be really, really cool. We're supposed to get the Unchained cards, which should be really good. We're also going to get Battling Boxers, which I don't know about you guys, but I'm a massive Hajime no Ippo fan. It's like my favorite anime of all time, so I can't wait for the Boxers. I'm definitely going to be covering those frame 1. So look forward to the next deck showcase. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Don't forget to like, sub, trying to get to 20,000. Okay, thank you. Peace.